Classic footy now on ITV4. It's Match Time Revisited.
More great drama? That's just the job. Trust a Trader, sponsoring ITV4 Daytime.
TrustATrader.com.
Good afternoon. Highlights from the FA Cup quarter-finals. Also one of the top games of the day from the First Division, and that's Manchester City against Arsenal. A game full of enterprising football, but a game of disappointment for City's England striker Trevor Francis, on a day when two other well-known goal-scorers found something to smile about in the FA Cup. Clive Allen of Queen's Park Rangers in the All-London derby with Crystal Palace. And England's latest international, Cyril Regis, playing for West Bromwich Albion against Coventry. Well, let's start with the first of those quarter-finals, the only match featuring two First Division clubs, West Bromwich Albion against Coventry. Central Television provide the pictures. Hugh Johns is the commentator. The match at the Hawthorns.
Serious injury problems throughout February upset Albion badly, but in fact they lost only one of 6 matches. But that cost them a League Cup final place at Wembley next Saturday. Now they're more or less at full strength again, seeking further progress to Wembley in May. The return of Batson at the back and Brown up front could prove decisive. Coventry look on this as their own personal cup final in many respects. In nearly 90 years, they've never ever been past the 6th round. Lingering doubts about the fitness of fullback Brian Roberts were dispelled today, so they stick to the side that Villa Park last Saturday. And referee Peter Willis of County Durham gets us away. Albion in their familiar blue and white stripes, the changed colours of Coventry City. The light blues in red today and attacking down that left side. John Weil, and that slide on his backside. You can see how slippery this pitch is. And in fact, we look around and we find that a linesman had flagged Hately offside in any case. Regis putting pressure on everybody, and here goes Brown for Regis. Oh, what a shot! What a goal! That was something special. Look at the power of the shot that Cyril Regis puts in here. Boom! That beat Blythe a mile on sheer pace. It's 1-0 Albion. 18 minutes into the game. And Cyril Regis chalks up goal number 20 for himself this season, with as spectacular a drive as you're likely to see for a very long time. That one aimed for Ali Brown. Roberts is there, better be careful. Here's Regis, and he's driving with the left foot this time. Well, Regis showing that he's got power in both feet. He scored his goal with the right foot. He sets that one up for the left peg. And it was steaming. Robertson. Here's Batson. Regis chests it down for King. Oh, good ball. McKenzie. Well, Steve McKenzie scored at Wembley last season for Manchester City from a more difficult position than this particular chance. He hit the target all right. The power of the shot couldn't beat Blythe. Batson punching that header down, and as far as Barnes, though. Here's Thompson. Stuck inside, King is there. Weil scoops it out of the mud. McKenzie could come for Regis. It does come for him. Brown calling for it, right side. McKenzie infield, gives it way back, though, to Weil. Here's Owen now. Needs a bit of help. We'll get it from Bennett. And Weil again. Brown down to Mackenzie. There goes King. And once again, the shooting in front of goal is pretty sharp by this Albion lineup. Jim Blythe, clearly the busier of the two goalkeepers. Nice knockdown. Mackenzie feeding it well for Andy King. And he strikes a very good shot indeed, which Blythe had covered. And Blythe losing the ball over the line for the corner. That's Robertson. No, it isn't. It was Haitley got it clear. And that's a break out now for Coventry by Hunt, and everything has been pulled back. As referee Willis, in fact, has signalled the half-time whistle, points to the tunnel. It's just about spot on. We might have had 30 seconds or so of stoppage time, but Cyril Regis there, the hero of the Hawthorns at the moment. So referee Peter Willis gets the second half underway. Referee Peter Willis, who will be in charge of the League Cup final at Wembley next Saturday, a game that you can see exclusively on ITV next Sunday afternoon. And the second half. And the players taking the opportunity, most of them anyway, to change their clothes at half-time. That's Hunt, just knocking it across there, or trying to anyway. That must have been offside. Batson then. It was Mackenzie trying to knock it forward. Batson's progress being impeded, and a free kick to Albion. Noticeably. King. Again roughed out of it by Danny Thomas, and the two number 8s are having a fair old personal battle. Free kick taken, Batson robbed by Hunt. Hits it early for Haitley. And now there's a gallop. Yes, John Wilde was being fouled by Haitley. Hagan's header drops to Roberts. Now Thomas. Roberts again. Low ball to Thompson. Well, unfortunate for Danny Thomas, he overran it, so it's Mackenzie now. King. King still going. Given Regis rather a lot to do. He takes Gillespie over into that corner. There's Batson. Batson fouled by Hunt. Free kick to Albion. Now Batson to knock this in across the goals. It's knocked out by Haitley. Statham. Oof. That was very nearly handball, and that's... Oh, the whistle's already gone. Whistle's already gone. So Andy King's gallop there was to no avail in any case. Barnes heading that towards Haitley. Good jump by Weil. Now Mackenzie. There goes Regis, and with him goes Gillespie as usual. Little help from Mackenzie. Now it's Brown. Taking on Barnes, trying to work the opening. So now it's Batson's turn. Got too tight to the line, has he? No, he got himself a corner off Barnes. Brendan Batson scored just one FA Cup goal, has Brendan Batson for West Bromwich Albion. That scored against Coventry. Oh, and this looks tricky stuff from Owen. And it's squeezed it in! Oh, unbelievable goal by Gary Owen! Would you believe that? Well, look at the smiles on the Albion players' faces. They say they don't believe it. I don't think he believes it himself, so let's have a look at it again and see exactly what he did. Twinkle toes, Gary Owen. A little tickle here, a little tickle there, and now what happens? He's still there. Little chip, and it was a deflection. It was a deflection. Off Barnes, I think. But Gary Owen's going to claim it. Batson, quick ball on for Mackenzie. I don't know whether that was a shot or a pass. Took a deflection again and goes away for the corner. Weil helps it on, it flicks away over Thompson, miskicked. And Mackenzie drives, checked by Hunt. Owen feeds off to King. Looking for Mackenzie. I think there were two other players who had had a better header at it in actual fact when this ball cut across. It's Robertson who looked as though he was on for something on the back post, in fact, as Mackenzie put it over. Tell you what, there's a fair few tired legs out on that park at the moment. Coventry's, of course, will be the more weary because of the saddening effect of being 2-0 down in the cup, away from home, knowing that the best you could hope for now, the absolute best you could hope for, would be a replay. And to score 2 goals in the last, 10 minutes or so, it's really hard. But there's a chance here for Haitley. Oh. Well, Roberts really did deliver a very fine ball that time, and for once that Albion defence was caught out. And Haitley really had a gift of a chance to put the ball on target, and he didn't. Ali Brown, one last attack from Albion. Mackenzie. Gillespie knocks it out. Francis. Still time enough for something to happen to Coventry's advantage. Well, it's broken down again. It's with Bodak. Strongly taken out of it by Statham, and there's the end of this 6th round cup tie, this quarter-final cup tie. West Bromwich Albion 2, Coventry 0.
So West Bromwich Albion going through without too much trouble. Only 2 First Division sides in the semi-finals, the other of course being Tottenham. Well, Leicester are there as well, and in a few moments the 2 London clubs battling it out for that 4th position, Queen's Park Rangers against Crystal Palace, and we'll be back. Welcome back. Let's carry straight on with the FA Cup and the second of our quarter-final ties this afternoon between 2 London clubs from the 2nd Division. Queen's Park Rangers, with a home advantage in more ways than one, against Crystal Palace. London Weekend Television, we're at Loftus Road. The commentator, Brian Moore.
Well, here's the Queen's Park Rangers side, and manager Terry Venables delayed his choice until midfield player John Gregory and striker Mike Flanagan had fitness tests. Both passed them this morning and play, as did midfield man Gary Waddock. Gary Micklewhite is the Rangers sub. As for Crystal Palace, Billy Gilbert is in the defence and plays alongside Steve Wicks, and Jim Cannon has moved out of the back 4 into midfield. Jerry Murphy is also back into midfield after suspension, and David Giles from Swansea plays his first cup tie for his new club. The referee is John Hunting of Leicester. And the crowd at Loftus Road, 24,000, but the receipts are around £75,000. So Rangers get us underway, attacking the goal to our left. What's sure to be a raucous London derby game. Rangers in the blue and white hoops. Crystal Palace today in their change strip of red and blue stripes. And they do say that there can be scorch marks when players slide on this artificial surface. Billy Gilbert has got protection on his thighs for that. Now Neil playing a nice ball through for Flanagan. Into that famous left foot. And that might be there for Stainrod. Good save by Barron, and Stainrod was where it mattered again. But it was presented to him by the Palace defence. In fairness, all over the place there. Suddenly Stainrod had a bit of space, but Barron was down well. Good left foot there, played towards Hilaire, but he wanted too long to separate. Hazel beat him, and here's Stainrod. A deflection, a corner, and a scare that's over for Palace. So the number 6 Glenn Roeder going into cause a little bit of confusion maybe in that 6-yard area, being supported by Bob Hazel. At the back post is Clive Allen. It's the corner by Flanagan, and it looked as though it had to be a penalty. No, it looked as though it had to be a penalty. So it was pushed away by Bolter off the line by his hands, and they are surrounding the referee as Wicks got in there. From that angle, it wasn't at all easy to see. But I must say, my impression from up here was that it was clearly pushed out by the Palace fullback. But it's a corner, and it's not a penalty. Well, that could have been a great let-off for Palace, but for how long? Curry trying to turn it back again. Rangers surrounded referee John Hunting, and it looked to me from this commentary position as though they had a pretty strong case. Curry, a bit of space here now, Flanagan, supported by Gregory. Waddock going away down the right, played in towards Flanagan again. It comes off Hinchelwood, and a chance for Gilbert to hoik it once more into touch. Well, a half-time score here at Loftus Road. It's Queen's Park Rangers 0, Crystal Palace 0. So Palace get the second half underway of this quarter-final. They reached the semi-finals of the FA Cup as a third division side, of course, back in 1976. Queen's Park Rangers have never yet been in the semi-finals. It's Gillard with the Rangers throw now. Rangers in the hoops. Cannon to Gilbert. Somebody there who knows all about tense and important cup ties, former England captain Bobby Moore. Now Waddock, policed but beaten by the back heel. Bolter beaten by it. And Neil playing it in for Stainrod, onto the left foot, trying to curl it there, that would have just crept in. Stainrod cursing maybe the fact that he didn't hit it a little more firmly. Good run here by the young fullback. Warren Neal plays a good ball back for Stainrod onto the left foot. And Barron again equal to it down at the far post. So Jerry Murphy. That's a ball for Hilaire to chase. Brought down just outside the box. It'll be a booking for Roeder. And it was a marvellous ball. A really great ball by Murphy. And Hilaire suddenly looked dangerous in behind them. And he's brought down just outside the box by the Rangers captain Glenn Roeder, who quite properly goes into the book for that challenge. And so, Palace, 6 minutes of the second half gone. A free kick from which they might just prosper. Who will have a dig at this one? Actually, Bolter has come up also on the far side to get maybe a free goal if they play it his way. Now they played it for Smiley. A nice little variation on that free kick, and Peter Hucker saved well. The wall had been lined up really efficiently. It was struck well by Smiley, and save well too. Stainrod to Waddock. This time for Clive Allen. Gregory trying to make something on the far side, claiming he was impeded, runs across to the referee, who had a perfect view and saw nothing untoward. Stainrod again, and from a long way out. Oh, my word! That very nearly caught Barron out. And that would have been the longest range goal of the season almost. Except for a certain freak by Ian Bolton of Watford up at Rotherham. That was a long, long shot taken on spec. And Barron was backpedaling and had to push it away for the corner. A corner then for QPR. Floated deep towards Neil, who'd come up. Allen hunting on the far side in the hope of getting it back again, but it's behind for the goal kick. Certainly a remarkable shot by Stainrod, and the bounce was such that it would only really have occurred on an artificial pitch like this, and it almost caught the keeper out. Rhoda, Cannon planting it back. He looked offside, Mabbott, but nothing was given. And with a little over a quarter of an hour to go, there's just that sneaking suspicion that Palace have defended so well, and have once or twice in this second half broken convincingly that they could, against all the odds, just snatch this one. It's 0-0, and we could have a really fascinating last quarter of an hour. The throw given Palace's way, and so young David Bolter with it. Hazel away, Flanagan. Taking it on, Stainrod, Bolter. Oh, he got caught up there a little bit, did Bolter. Still Stainrod. And that came off Wicks for the corner. So Cannon comes back from the midfield to a roll in his own 6-yard area. And Palace have brought everybody except Hilaire back. But here comes the corner now from Tony Curry. Very deep one. Stainrod nodding it on. Rhoda's right in there. And in the end, the keeper, oh, he got it and lost it, and the whistle gone and went to his rescue. Just a fleeting impression there for a moment that Paul Barron may have taken it a little too comfortably. Maybe the whistle had gone, I don't know. But it's knocked out of his hands, and he could just have been in a bit of trouble there, although he was well backed up by Bolter. Hazel. Flanagan. Allen. Off the referee. With apologies to Allen. But now it's Hazel getting it back, and Mabbott with a chance to get in. Good work by Hucker. Suddenly with the ball coming off the referee, it fell to Palace's advantage, and Mabbott was on the chase, and Hucker anticipated superbly. Curry. Played in for Gregory. Wicks felt that the back pass was too dangerous, and he was right, because Allen and Flanagan were both in there. Hacked it away for the corner, and so there's more pressure on Palace now with 4 minutes remaining. Again Rhoda, and again Hazel forward. Well, again, we wonder if Palace can hold out. And Allen has scored a goal. And that's going to be enough to put him through. Conceded something right at the end. Suddenly there was Allen on the turn, beyond the keeper, into the net. And the stewards are just getting one or two of the fans off the field. Clive Allen's 11th goal. And what does he say now? Steve Pember, the acting manager. Referee looking at his watch again. Both linesmen have signalled that for them time is up. Hucker's taking his time. The final whistle, and Rangers for the first time in their history are in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. The final score then here at Loftus Road. It's Queen's Park Rangers 1, Crystal Palace 0.
Well, now our First Division game from here in the northwest. Yesterday we were at Main Road for the game between Manchester City and Arsenal, and where Dennis Law was intrigued to see if Arsenal are as boring as everyone seems to think they are. Anyway, his verdict afterwards, your commentator, is Martin Tyler.
John Ryan is relishing the taste of First Division football again at the age of 34. Signed on a free transfer from Sheffield United 2 months ago, today he faces the club with which he started his professional career. But at Arsenal, Ryan never got the opportunity that 18-year-old Paul Gorman is given this afternoon. Gorman, a midfield player from Dublin, steps into the senior side for the first time. 3 of Manchester City's youngsters, Ray Ranson, Nicky Reed and Tommy Caton, were all called up for the England under-21 squad this week. But today, City's thoughts are on a more positive approach than they showed in last Saturday's derby game at Old Trafford. And to this end, they're helped by the return of Trevor Francis after a thigh injury. Arsenal have dropped Peter Nicholas and Paul Vasson, so there's a place for Stuart Robson, the England youth captain, in midfield after 6 previous first-team games at right back. Goals, though, remain Arsenal's scarcest commodity, and today Graham Rix is pushed forward alongside Alan Sunderland in attack. Something of a contrast of attitudes here. John Bond wanting adventure from Manchester City after defensive tactics last Saturday at Old Trafford. Terry Neal, on the other hand, has called for more discipline from his Arsenal side after a less organised performance against Swansea last weekend. Referee is Karen Barrett from Coventry. It's his first season on the Football League list, and he's officiating in only his second First Division match. Space for Reed. Hartford. Now Ryan, with Ransom darting outside him, and Ryan chooses to go forward himself. And look for Francis. Tackle, got the ball from Brian Talbot. There's no doubt about that. It's only a crowd reaction. It even suggested a foul. Well, it reached McDonald, and now it reaches Hartford. It's another corner. Arsenal just a little tentative. Ryan will take the corner and try to swing it in. Wooded stretched initially as though he wouldn't reach it at all, but managed to pour it away. Francis against Paul Davis. cross at full stretch, fighting a losing battle with the ball going out of play. He fell painfully. Sansom. Talbot's touch. Helped on by Ricks, and Sansom's got behind Ranson. And Corrigan off his line. Good goalkeeping. And also plenty to admire in the build-up from Arsenal. Not for the first time in this half. But Sansom thwarted by Corrigan. And Trevor Francis will shortly be going off. But while Gary Jackson gets ready, he will stay on the field as Arsenal take it up with Davis. And now Chris White. He takes on Caton. Gets his cross in. Header from Reed. This is Gorman. And it deflected against the post to thwart Paul Gorman of a goal on his First Division debut. He turned onto the left foot, it struck Bobby McDonald, Corrigan wrong-footed, and Manchester City saved by the post. So Trevor Francis has lasted just 28 minutes. And Gary Jackson, the 17-year-old midfield player, is the replacement. Ranson. Senses that Manchester City have something of a battle on their hands here. Their playing resources already stretched before the game, further depleted by the injury to Francis. And Arsenal go forward with Gorman. And it was touched away. Brought in to inject a little bit more goal-scoring attitude in midfield, Paul Gorman, and forced the save from Corrigan. Both central defenders are forward for Arsenal at this corner. And O'Leary, in the end, had to use a hand as the ball was curving out. And that's the last act of the first half, in which the more cohesive football has come from Arsenal. And Paul Gorman can look back with some satisfaction on his first 45 minutes in the First Division. A shot that was deflected onto the post, and another that forced a fine save from Joe Corrigan. But at half-time at Main Road, it's Manchester City 0, Arsenal 0. No goals then in the first 45 minutes. Manchester City, in fact, haven't beaten Arsenal in any of the last 10 meetings between the two clubs. The last person to score the winning goal, in fact, in October '77 was Dennis Stewart, of course on the injured list at the moment. Ranson on the charge again. A better cross this time. Power! And Wood had to make the save in the end. He was a little slow moving to it, perhaps uncertain as to whether the ball was passing wide. And Ray Ranson, serving his side's cause again well here. Power's header, and Wood stretched to save. Ryan will take the corner. And Wood was being fouled as Harida went in. Here's Ricks, taking on Hartford and beating him. And Corrigan dropping to his left to hold the shot from Ricks. There's always the possibility of the shooting chance once he'd slipped Hartford. Sunderland was following in as Corrigan hung on. This is McDonald. Power gets behind Hollins. Harida stretches and finds Jackson. It's Reeves who shoots, and the chance is for Hartford. And Wood made made a fine save. The Drakes went City's way then. First Power, then Harida here. Jackson's touch deceived Davis. Reeves had a shot that fell perfectly for Hartford, but Wood blocked it. A crowd of just over 30,000 today, still hoping to see a goal for their money. Hartford lost out to Robson, 2 ahead of him. Sunderland and Ricks. Here is Ricks. Robson plays it back, Ricks finds the acceleration, and it's away from Bobby McDonald as Sunderland closed in. Robson goes down, no penalty, after Ricks had found an extra gear a moment or two earlier, and Bobby McDonald had got it away. Arsenal still feeling, perhaps, that they might have had a penalty. Or two after Ricks had made that penetrating burst when Robson came into the area, and there were a lot of players between the referee and the incident as Robson went down. Here's Reed, a really powerful run, and Reeves managed to recover. This is Ryan, it's wide. Davis wanting to come back on, but Nicky Reed powering through from his own half, trying something different to inject a goal into Manchester City's performance, and it ended with Ryan's final shot off target. And this is Sunderland, who can clinch it here. Corrigan in the way, and Paul Davis still struggling with the injury, couldn't follow up. Here's Sunderland once more. Sansom, Davis, and Corrigan with an easier job then. O'Leary. Power finding Harida. In from Power. Collins will stop the corner. Gives it straight to McDonald. And all City get is a throw inside the final 10 minutes. Caton forward here. Now McDonald. And Wood in trouble, and Reeves couldn't reach it. It's a corner. Harida caused the anxiety to the goalkeeper with his challenge. And it almost dropped for Kevin Reeves. O'Leary got it behind for the corner. Caton's flick, McDonald, and it was away from Sanson. Jackson tries to drive it back, and Paul Davis got in the way. So City so close to the breakthrough here. Tommy Caton's touch, and Ken Sansom just turning it away from McDonald, who has ended up hurt from the collision. As we look again, McDonald coming in, and Sansom's elbow caught him in the face. McDonald still looking a little groggy, and still signs of blood around the mouth. Sunderland, and this is Davis. Paul Davis. It looked a light-hearted episode as he grabbed hold of Corrigan's foot, but no real smiles exchanged. Here's Power. Arsenal swarming around the ball. Reed. It's Robson who did the blocking. Here's Ryan, who can hit them and does. And Wood got away with the fumble. Ryan had it on the right foot, through the dummy, but lost White and forced Wood to the fumbling save. O'Leary watches it drop off the roof of the stand. McDonald. Ryan coming in. That's a solid header too, that deserved to set something up. More colleagues arriving. As Ryan takes the corner. Caton, and McDonald hit the post. Caton again doing the job on the near post, and the other post wrapped by the header from Bobby McDonald. Here's Sunderland. Talbot has got up with him. There are three to his left, one of whom is Ricks. Into injury time. A rider. Collins header out. Gorman gets it to safety. Caton. Ryan reaches Harida, and Wood was caught wrong-footed as he came out because Harida stretched into a shot that caught the goalkeeper by surprise. Sanson and Ryan both missed it, and Harida got there, but it was wide. A disappointment again for Manchester City. Talbot. Finding their best form in the final stages, maybe too late to turn 1 point into 3. Talbot. As we move into the 3rd minute of injury time. Ricks made a pass unaware that Sunderland had lost his footing. Corrigan being urged to plant one last mighty kick forward. Reeves. But it finishes goalless. Although Arsenal were fortunate in the end, as Bobby McDonald, with 2 headers following corners, came so close to giving the game a goal. As the players go off, it reflects that perhaps the way the game is played these days, that the wrong players are getting into scoring positions, defenders and midfield men, as the strikers get crowded out. The final score at Main Road, it's Manchester City 0, Arsenal 0.
Well, for some months now, Arsenal have been branded as the most boring team in the First Division. But on yesterday's evidence, I feel I must leap to their defence. At Main Road, they threw players forward at every opportunity, and in the first half, no fewer than 8 of the 10 outfield players had shots at goal. Here's a classic example of their positive attitude. Graham Ricks had 3 City players closing him down, but instead of taking the easy option and passing back, he flights a beautiful ball out wide to Kenny Sansom. In fact, Sansom impressed me a great deal with his willingness to go forward down the left. As did Chris White, who had a marvellous game at the centre of the defence. Arsenal's bad reputation is based purely on their abysmal goal-scoring record, but on yesterday's showing, that failure to find the net is certainly not for the lack of trying.
Thanks, Dennis. Well, let's see how that result affects the top of the First Division. Well, the title seems to be slipping beyond City, although Manchester United's win at Birmingham keeps them right there. An important 3 points, with Swansea and Ipswich also winning. Well, the latest news on Trevor Francis, incidentally, who limped off in the first half. He's got no chance for the game with Leeds on Wednesday. The injury sustained after stretching for that cross, and the pain clearly showing there on Trevor's face. Inevitable that he was replaced shortly afterwards. Well, Trevor told us after the game that it had absolutely nothing to do with the injury that kept him out of last week's Manchester Derby match, and that he was 100% fit before yesterday's game. Dennis?
Yes, and there's bad news for Oldham today. Defender Kenny Clements, who was injured in a dressing room warm-up before yesterday's defeat against Rotherham, will have a cartilage operation on Tuesday and could be out for the rest of the season. I feel that this could be the final straw for Oldham, who have been slipping out of the promotion race with only 2 wins in their last 11 games. Their limited resources will be further stretched next Saturday by the absence of suspended Darren McDonough, and it came as no surprise today when manager Jimmy Frizzell told me that he was looking for a player for a loan period. Oldham have dropped out of the top 3 for the first time this year. They are now 2 points behind Blackburn, who remain in 4th place after beating Derby 4-1. Meanwhile, Burnley have reclaimed another of their old boys, with Brian Flynn returning to Turf Moor on a 1-month loan. It's a smart piece of business and should prove the extra ingredient to take the Clarets back to Division 2. Flynn left Burnley to join Leeds in 1977 and has always been a tremendous worker with good skills to match.
We finish with football and the goals which put West Bromwich Albion and Queen's Park Rangers into the semi-finals of the FA Cup. From all of us, good afternoon.
Regis putting pressure on everybody, and here goes Brown for Regis. Oh, what a shot! What a goal! Oh, and this looks tricky stuff from Owen. And it's squeezed it in! Oh, unbelievable goal by Gary Owen!
Well, again, we wonder if Palace can hold out.